Welcome and thank you for joining us for the last day of blooloop's V-Expo and ProSlide's second panel session. If you caught our first session yesterday, we had a great discussion covering some iconic and transformative indoor and outdoor water parks around the world. Today, we're focusing on one particular indoor water park, the much anticipated DreamWorks Water Park at American Dream. Located in East Rutherford, New Jersey, American Dream is a premier one-stop retailtainment destination along with Triple Five's Mall of America and West Edmonton Mall. Being the largest water park to open this year, American Dream's DreamWorks Water Park is destined to be the world leader of indoor water parks. It is one of the strongest and most innovative indoor parks ever to be experienced. Under one roof, there are 35 water slides and 15 attractions that are changing the landscape of indoor water parks around the world. To talk about American Dream and everything it took to make it a reality, we're joined by Gary Hanson, Vice President of Development and Attractions at American Dream and Triple Five, and ProSlide's Chairman and CEO, Rick Hunter. To start us off, Gary, can you tell us a little bit about the initial vision for American Dream and how that came about?
Well, initially we built West Edmonton Mall back in the 80s, and that was a concept by the Gamasian family, specifically Iskander Gamasian, who's the current chair. It was him and the family's focus, and we built a traditional shopping center. Then in 83, we added entertainment to West Edmonton Mall with the ice rink, NHL ice rink, and the amusement park. And then in 85 and 86, we went crazy and added an indoor big lake. We had submarines, we had sharks, we had dolphins. And one of the most spectacular components we brought to the table was an indoor water park. And it's called the Worldwide Water Park at West Edmonton Mall. And it set the standards for water parks, for indoor and outdoor water parks at the time. So that's the concept, is entertainment and retail. We did Mall of America was the next in the 90s, and we added an amusement park with retail around it. And now with American Dream, we're taking all of the knowledge that we have and our experiences, guided by Iskander Gamasian, the chairman, and we're adding these world-class attractions to an existing project we took over in year 2011. That's where we are today.
Well, Gary, look at the background and the story of Triple Five is an amazing one. At ProSlide, like, we've been really lucky I've been involved with the water park industry for 40 years now. It's 40 years this year. I started ProSlide 34 years ago and have been living within the water park industry, literally all my working life. One of the most amazing and exciting things that have come along, of course, is American Dream. And it's setting a new standard. When you came to us back in about 2013, or thereabouts, about 7 years ago, and we're talking about American Dream and setting the new standard for indoor water parks in the retailtainment sector, that was extremely, extremely exciting. And it was one of those things when you were talking and Iskander Gamasian was at our office and talking about all of the highlights that you were planning about setting the stage for the new best water park. Of course, that is music to my ears and our ears. And we were on a track. We had, completed Disney Blizzard Beach. We were planning Volcano Bay for Universal. We've been involved with a lot of the big water parks in North America and the world. And I knew, and you guys knew, that this was going to be a new opportunity and something that really needed to raise the bar. So when I look at American Dream, I say to the World Water Park Association and the full community, this is something that you have to see to believe, 100%. American Dream is a total, it's an 8-acre indoor water park. Some of the highlights that Gary brought to me and that we know about in the plan, for example, largest indoor wave pool, 65,000 square feet. I mean, you can see it behind Gary right now. The thing is enormous, and it's got technology from American Wave Systems, surfing pool. And Gary, you might want to talk a little bit about American Wave and that pool and the other stationary waves that you have.
Yeah. So I just want to go back to Iskander's goal for the American Dream. I know you brought his name up already, but when we took over in 2011, it was the existing Xanadu, and Xanadu had your normal retail. It had an indoor snow park, which was the first in North America, and it had a Ferris wheel that was coming. So we took our experience, and this is where we were figuring out what do we add an attraction to Xanadu, which is now American Dream. And we added an NHL ice rink, which is what we had in West Edmonton Mall. So we made sure it's world class. Then we had the amusement park from our experience at Mall of America and West Edmonton Mall, and then the water park. And that is Iskander's crown jewel in his opinion, and he's very focused on the water park. And I remember when we met with you, and Iskander had this is what I'm looking for. He said he wants it higher, he wants it longer, and he wants it bigger. I mean, he wants world records, and that's what he's looking for. He wanted a world-class destination for locals and tourism, and he wanted a great experience for the whole family. So it's children, the family members, and then the extreme rides for the teenagers. That was what we handed to you and said, what can you come up with, Rick, in this weird looking footprint that we have, that we took over some land from TSN? And I'm just reinforcing your story about him coming down. We went down to Ottawa, we flew down there, and we went through your offices. And I know he was very animated, telling you exactly what he wanted. And that's where your story sort of, I guess, begins with the experience with Iskander. And how did you deliver that? So
yeah, and thanks for that background as well, because Iskander was describing not only was it important to be tallest, biggest, fastest indoor, it was competing, of course, in the world for outdoor as well. And that was the biggest challenge, was taking an indoor concept and actually building all the rides bigger and longer and taller than outdoor water parks. And we were alluding to that, Gary, just the other day, and we were saying that an outdoor water park, you have lots of land. It's, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's easier. And it's to build outdoors. You've just got nothing. You can keep moving rides around in literally all kinds of space. In an indoor water park, although this is 8 acres, it's still an indoor water park. And yet, of course, we wanted highest. And what I'd like to say is that the planning was really critical, because to put this many large attractions and this diverse a number of attractions that you would, that Iskander and you guys were looking for, and that's no easy task. I mean, you're talking tallest speed slides in the world. And I'm going to get into some of the specifics, but, the water coaster, we wanted big family rides. You mentioned it before, and it was true. The mandate was, we want to make sure that we are hitting and matching all the demographics of the family, from the youngest children, toddlers, all the way up to grandparents, and American Dream has achieved that. I think when you really look at the theming, of course, and I think you're going to want to talk about theming with DreamWorks, they've done an amazing job. And names of the towers, for example, the best example of what went on there is behind me. It is the Madagascar Tower from DreamWorks. And this would be considered, and I've been in every water park in the world and been involved with a lot of the leading water parks around the world. And this tower is an absolute standout. Talk about tallest. When we designed the Madagascar Tower.
Just interrupt you for a second before you do that.
Please do.
The biggest challenge to you at ProSlide, in my opinion, was Iskander wanted the world's largest wave pool. So when you got 8 acres and you got the world's largest wave pool, how do you jam in all of these other slides and this experience that we're asking for. And that was a huge challenge for you at ProSlide, as you're well aware of, because it was almost like we had a piece of paper and we moved these slides around to see where they could fit and everything.
Absolutely.
So I just want to raise this before you get into the details of how you achieved that. That was the biggest challenge that we have, and you guys were able to overcome that and deliver the same number of slides that they have at Volcano Bay as we have inside our park. And now you can talk about how you overcame that. But
okay,
when you talk about theming, I mean, the theming of was a DreamWorks theme designed by the Hedema group for us, and then we had to pile on the theming onto the slides and onto the towers. So you can go ahead and talk about how you did it, but that was a challenge that we gave you, and you definitely overcame that and delivered. So
in the planning process, you know, with your team and of course the water technology team who did mechanical and did other layouts, I remember that the wave pool it seemed like it was you know, enlarging. It was actually growing while we were planning. And you're right, we had to drive the rides into adjacent areas around. And this is a beautiful, in a lot of ways, although it's a rectangular shape, it's triangular and rectangular in some facets, with this beautiful, you know, barreled ceiling, you know, full glass barrel vaulted, that's 140 feet high. I must admit, you know, the Madagascar Tower, we had to drive into, you know, into the area I would call it in a corner, but adjacent to the beautiful glass wall. And similarly, the Shrek Tower, which has large tornadoes and large family rides, is at the opposite end of the facility, and it's massive as well. So bottom line is, it was a real challenge, but I think it turned out incredibly well, because behind me you can see the Madagascar Tower. It's almost an optical illusion, because it could look to anybody, it could look like it was about 100 feet high, but in fact those water slides are dropped from 142 feet. You know, the vaulted ceiling is 140 feet, and the pop-up that you guys designed goes to 160 feet, where in fact the two free falls drop from. So, you know, when you look at this tower at one, and everybody has to go to American Dream to see it, because, you know, this is fashion forward design, fashion forward water rides that are absolutely break barriers. There's as many as 20 water slides involved with the Madagascar Tower. And if you, and I'm not going to get every detail perfect, but I'm going to tell you that there is in fact a mezzanine that was worked into the Madagascar area that's 20 feet high. And I'll just run through some slides just to put it in perspective. We have the start of the world's longest indoor water coaster here, and it's the longest in the world, indoor or outdoor, with 8 drops. So, you know, this is as per as per DreamWorks, it's the toothless trickling torpedo, and it goes all the way around, all the way around the outside. Number one, and you load and unload on the mezzanine. We have 6 lanes of Kraken Racer, which is like the top, you know, headfirst mat racing ride in the world. Of course, all indoors, coming from 60 feet onto a 20-foot mezzanine. The 2 142-foot free fall speed slides, which at the time were the tallest indoor and outdoor. There might be one other ride that has tried to exceed that in the previous couple of years, but everyone that wants to be tallest in the world, there's only one, okay? And you guys decided for 2 because you've got basically, and I started calling them, you know, the dueling free falls, the twin dueling free falls from 142 feet. Not stopping there, one of the tallest super loops, okay? And these all have sky boxes on them, the drop boxes, and we're coming from 80 feet on the super loop. were coming from 80 feet on a double drop, okay? So you can't go anywhere in the world and ride these thrilling rides, as thrilling as these ones are anywhere else but American Dream. And that's the way that Iskander, and that's the way you guys planned it. To keep going, you know, then we have...
I just want to jump in here and just give a little story about the drop rides.
Yeah.
And the challenges that we gave you guys. I mean, we gave you this envelope, basically the barrel ceiling looks very similar to West Edmonton Mall, and that's what Iskander wanted. But when it came to the drop rides, you know, we said, how can we make it the tallest? So we researched the world and said, what are the tallest body slides, drop slides in the world? And it was in Brazil. I think it was 138 feet or something.
Yep,
so
that's correct.
We said, we want ours to be taller. And then we thought later, we said, we not only one of them, we want two of them. I mean, these are the challenges.
Yeah.
And then you said, yes, we can deliver it based on, you know, your calculations and everything.
Design expertise.
But then we had to build a whole pop-up to accommodate this because the barrel didn't accommodate this height. So then we had to build that, and then we put glass on the face, so anybody on that tower has a good look at Manhattan across the river.
That is the ace in the hole. I mean, before you drop 142 feet, which, by the way, we all know it's 14 stories. Okay, so you know, you need. I think you mentioned that as everybody walks up, we were just saying it yesterday. A defibrillator at the top of the tower.
Yeah, we're out of breath, guys. Like we're out of breath going to the top there. Not just to go on the tower, by the way, or the ride, but just to have the view across the Manhattan.
Yeah.
15 stories. That's pretty high when you're walking. So we're out of breath. That's what we got to put at the top is some defibrillators. So
that site is absolutely incredible because it is true. I wrote down by Manhattan because the view is absolutely incredible to the New York skyline. You've got to do it. So, you know, that just gives you an idea. Not only, okay, we also, Iskander wanted from West Ed Mall, had a really good family experience for kids of all ages with the body slides. And so we put in 2 body slides that also come from as high as 60 feet. And, you know, they're almost 500-foot body slides. This is kind of a retro design, which, by the way, we love because those are the serpentine slides and they're very, very popular. We also have the tubing rides. We've got 2 pipelines also coming from almost 80 feet. And we've got a Cannonball 40. We've got the drop slide, the shorter drop slides into deep water. And you guys specifically wanted those as well. And we also have the Pro Bowl that drops into deep water. There's not a tower like it. It turned out we're all very, very pleased with it. And when DreamWorks put on all of the theming onto this attraction, you know, it's one of those things that you have to see to believe. I mean, it's the size of it, the scale of it is absolutely amazing.
Rick, the challenge we had on this is when DreamWorks and the Hedema Group came up with their picture how they want to theme the Madagascar Tower, and that's what we call this. And part of the movie is an airplane, and so how do we take their artists doing this on a piece of paper, and how do you make it reality? And that is a huge challenge, working with you guys, working with the tower, and then working with all of the contractors who basically do the theming to achieve the goals and the sketches that the Hedema Group and DreamWorks came up with. I mean, it's unbelievable how it turned out with the slides going right through the airplane, the trees, all the different types of Madagascar trees, and they want to make it photo op. So that's where the people drop down. Then you got a photo op there. You got a photo op when they come down the slides. That's the social media now that makes these type of projects, and that's the.
No, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, you know, the size of the rides. You had mentioned that we were fortunate to work on Volcano Bay with Universal, obviously, and that opened in 2017. And every one of your rides for the most part, are taller and bigger than the largest outdoor water parks in the world. So it's the vision that 555, Iskander, and you guys have. This is why it was so exciting. And quite frankly, there are many great entrepreneurs in the water park industry, and the retailtainment. I think what's happened is your budget that you put together, and you decide, Iskander decides to go for a budget that basically will be outstanding. This is an incredible boost to the entire industry. And correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that for the water park and for the theme park, 555 has spent over $1 billion, and it might even be close to $1.4 billion. $1.4 billion. I mean, this is something that is very ambitious. And but by the way, talk about world class and world leading.
Yeah, as everybody knows, when we put both feet in, we go full bore here, and that's why we don't do just a little water park or a little wave pool and stuff like this, like everybody else does.
Yeah.
We want to be world class. We want a tourism destination. That takes money, and it takes guts in order to invest that kind of money, which very few companies in the world, I can't even think of one. We're probably the only company in the world that invests that kind of money into the entertainment product to complement our retail, and that's why we're successful.
Well, I know that retailtainment, I think you coined the word, but you certainly embody it, you guys. And by the way, when we were looking at this, and the most incredible theming, tell the story about this incredible little iconic piece here, which is quite interesting.
Sure. So what that is part of the Madagascar theming. There's a character called King Julian, and he's sort of the party guy when it comes to all the characters. So that is the King Julian DJ booth. And a bunch of us Canadians, we're fellow Canadians. We go down to Mexico in the wintertime to the all-inclusives, and you go by the pool, and you got the DJ with all the entertainment events. He's got the conga line going, he's got the yoga, he's got the dancing, he's got the music. That atmosphere is what we wanted to achieve in this park. And we're using King Julian as the party person, the icon, and that's a DJ booth.
Amazing.
We play the music and do the shouts back and forth and the conga lines and everything in the pool. And it creates that fun atmosphere, that family atmosphere throughout the park. And up top in the orange, those screens open up, and then there's videos of different scenes that they have in the movie Madagascar. So that's what that is, right adjacent to the main wave pool.
This is, I'm lucky to be in the water park industry with you guys being so entrenched in it and building, like in 1986, basically the World Water Park in Edmonton. I mean, you built the world's largest mall in Edmonton, Alberta. And I was trying to think to myself, the population of Edmonton, even today, are we talking 1 million, 1.5 million?
The whole province is probably pushing 4 million, and Edmonton's just over 1 million. And we're the most northerly city in Canada.
Yeah.
So we have to have strong marketing programs in order to attract people.
Unbelievable.
And it's very successful. So our opinion, if we can attract people to West Edmonton Mall, we're across the river from Manhattan. So if we can do it there, we can certainly do it here. And we know this project
absolutely
is very busy. So
see, I think that's the key. Like having grown up in this industry and over time, I mean, never give up and never stop doing your trade and building your craft, which is what we do at ProSlide. So we are lucky to have worked with Disney, Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon, work with the Wet and Wilds, and, work with Universal, work with SeaWorld, work with Six Flags. And the excitement around water parks and theme parks is huge. And when you guys did the mall, I remember going out to West Edmonton Mall, and I hadn't started ProSlide yet when you built that. Literally, it was about the same year. So, but I saw what you had done. And when you came to me about 6, 7 years ago, well, 6, 7, 8 years ago for American Dream, I knew that you guys, and meeting Iskander and the whole team, it was like, these guys are going to build something amazing. And so it's such a boost for the whole industry. And, we all have to thank you for that. And we all have to get out and see American Dream, because like you said, if you can do it in Edmonton with just over 1 million people, build the world's largest mall, New Jersey, it's hard to understand what it is that you have built and where it's going, but it will, of course, it's going to work. And you guys, anybody that gets near this place, I mean, because I'm in the water park industry all over the world, they won't believe it. And that's why we're all so excited about it.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to talk about your other products you put in here then?
Well, yeah, we can. In terms of this tower, I mean, this says a whole bunch, but we also have, you guys went with the largest family rides, and I'm gonna look, and I'm just gonna put that up. And there are 3 rides. This is the Shrek Tower, and people who know the water park industry know that they're looking at a tornado 60. So the reducing radius funnel is 60 feet in diameter. They also know that when you look closely, you've got one of the world's longest mammoth family raft rides that has the Behemoth Bull 40. And you also see what we call the triple, it's a Tornado Alley. So it's a Mammoth River family raft ride with 3 Tornado 24-footers. So that's the Shrek Tower, and it's huge.
That tornado, even though it's 60 feet,
yeah,
looks very small inside this project.
Oh my God. I mean, that's where I think when people on your website, when they really look at that, this would be a little bit of a 3D of that, but it's enormous. And it fills the end of your 140-foot, vaulted ceiling, really. I mean, it fills the end. It's absolutely enormous. Another thing that you were proud of, and we're very proud of, is Kung Fu Panda. And, obviously that's one of the world's largest family multi-level play structures with multiple slides, and notably has the largest tipping bucket in the world. And that's something that you guys wanted to have. And so have to see that to believe it as well. And I know that you can see that we're showing some of those 3D graphics right now. So that's a big deal. And then, of course, not to ever be missing a component, but strong is the penguins area. And of course, that's for the young families, and there's multiple slides and play activities, splash pad, etc. At American Dream. Yeah, I mean, you nailed it on the full Monty. Would never want to, also one of the highlights, which I know already from you telling me in terms of lineups over at American Dream, the water coaster, this really is a special water coaster that in fact will be an icon piece with the tall speed slides and all of the attractions, but it literally goes all the way around, designed, and you guys worked with us closely to design that, where you wanted the longest, you wanted more drops than other people, and so we extended it. Goes all the way around the water park. So it's a huge standout. It even goes above, behind you, Gary, to the right. It goes behind your cabanas, which I get a kick out of. There, Gary tells me, 31 hockey box cabanas. What do you mean hockey box? Of course, they're from Edmonton Oilers, who won about 5 cups in a row with Gretzky or more. And it's a hockey box cabana. So tell us a little bit about those, because those have the sight lines to Manhattan.
A little bit about the hydromagnetic rocket. I mean, we definitely wanted that ride because at the time that was the new, I guess, the new wave. It was just coming on stream, and we knew that would be our #1 attraction. So I remember we put it just around the wave pool. That's originally where we had it.
Right.
And again, the family goes, no, 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 no. We need this to go through the whole park, and we need to go to the roof, and we need
Yeah.
to go to the floor.
Yeah.
And we started on the mezzanine, and then we re-themed that, by the way, How to Train Your Dragon. So as you go around that, you have experience with Toothless and Lightyear and other dragons as you go around. And so that was part of the theming related to that ride. And as you said, over my right shoulder is the we call it Cabanas, but really, as you said, they're hockey boxes. Being Canadian, loving hockey, we built 31 hockey boxes with the lounge seats in the front, and behind is the couches and the TV and food service. But on top of that is the hydromatic rocket. So behind me in the blue is the rocket that goes right to the far wall. So it's on the far wall behind you as you go up, and it's on the far wall behind me. And that's how long this rocket is. And we want it the longest and the most drops. I think at the time you had 5 drops.
Yes.
The most, and now we had asked for 8 drops.
8. Yeah, we've got 8, more than anybody else in the world. So it's you know, and when I was doing a little write-up to make sure that I didn't forget to say it, it's not only do you have 8 drops, but hydromagnetic linear induction motors, literally are magnets. And of course, we have that reaction plate in the bottom of the raft. Well, when you drop and you get up to speeds of, say, 25 to 35 feet per second, the limb picks you up right after the drop and maintains your speed all the way up. So we say, not only are you a high-speed thrill on the way down, you are flying up, like you're not leaving the surface, but you are really flying up those, you know, those booster sections. So this is absolutely an incredible standout. And I remember you guys, not only did we design it above the cabanas, which are on my right side of your screen over there, but you go by also the lookout, you know, from the mall, and you've got the viewing platform up there above the hockey rink. I know the hockey rink, the NHL hockey rink's in the next room, for heaven's sakes. So we got the hockey cabanas, you've got the, you know, the water coaster. I mean, this place is amazing, absolutely amazing. I did want to say another thing, because it's the characters of 555. That was the whole planning process with Iskander, the Ghermesians, yourself, and your team. It went exactly the way you said it. Like, no, we need this. We need the tallest. We need the longest. And the enthusiasm for that planning process, trust me, this goes a long way with, you know, a ski racer like me and our team. You know, we're adrenaline junkies ourselves. And when it's, you know, brothers from another mother, you know, I mean, it's, we really relate to that. And that's something that was really special to us and to me, to work with 555 and to work with your team. It's just, that's what creates, that creates world's best.
We're very excited about the end product here. I mean, when you put it on paper I mean, we had to put 5,500 piles to hold up these buildings, which took a year and a half. So
Unbelievable.
When you're building this stuff, and then the arches go up, the arches were made in China and shipped over here and put up. You don't know what your final product's going to be. I mean, you have it on paper, you have the sketches, but we're very, very happy with what we achieved to be world class, and dealing with world class suppliers like yourselves, like American Wave Machines, and all of the theming contractors that we work with to put this together. We're very happy, and we're looking forward to the future.
Yeah, I know that we're all excited about that, and you know, as we work through the next number of months and things clear up, I mean, this place is going to be really busy. Everybody has to go and see it, and you know, we can't thank you enough for, you know, for allowing us to work with you guys. And I wanted to do just a quick shout out to, you know, the Kalahari Resorts down at Round Rock. They're just finishing up their world-class facility for their, you know, their themed hotel and everything. And Soki Mountain opened the outdoor water park down in Pigeon Forge. So these are 2 amazing projects, outdoor and another indoor, but a full hotel and everything. It's important, like what you've done is totally world leading. And, you know, you've basically done it with your retailtainment. And so these are really, really different facilities. And what you built is something that others cannot build. I mean, you've just done it higher and faster, et cetera. But the others are amazing water parks too. But this thing, I just, everybody in our water park industry will have to see American Dream. And thanks for sharing all that stuff. The background's amazing.
No problem. But when you come here, I mean, we use the same philosophy in our amusement park. It's themed Nickelodeon.
Yes.
And we probably have 6, 7 world records in that park also for the steepest, the tallest, the fastest, similar philosophy. So when you come see the water park, I mean, you got to see the whole project, and the invitation is there. Come out and check it out and give us your comments.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. No, theme park, water park, side by side, amazing. Well, you know what? It's indescribable. You have to see it to believe it. And I think that I know we're going to take some questions after this.
Yes. So I just wanted to say thank you to Gary and Rick for this great overview of American Dream. It's absolutely destined to be a world leader for indoor water parks. And I also wanted to thank everybody for joining us today. We will have some time to take a few questions, so please make sure to stay online and send us your questions in the question chat area, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you.